Last year in free agency, the Buffalo Bills went ahead and grabbed two wide receivers. Is it time for the Buffalo Bills to do it again? Welcome to Believers Talk. My name is Joe, and welcome to this free agency edition of Believers Talk, where we're going to break down the upcoming free agency period and the positions of need for the Buffalo Bills and ask ourselves, is this a position that can be filled during free agency, or is this something we want to address during the NFL draft? Again, guys, thank you for joining me on Believers Talk. My name is Joe. If you're new to the channel, guys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We will keep you up to date not only on our Buffalo Bills, but all of Buffalo sports. Talking about the Sabres, the Bulls, whatever you want to talk about. If you're a fan of Buffalo sports of any kind, you want to hit that subscribe button. Like this video, and guys, leave a comment. Tell me what you think as we discuss in this video the free agent wide receivers coming up in the NFL, and should the Buffalo Bills go after them? Now, we remember last year, 2019, during the NFL free agency time period, the Bills went out and got two big wide receiver names. Both had huge impacts on the Buffalo Bills. Talking about John Brown, who was the first Buffalo Bills wide receiver since 2015 to get over 1,000 yards on the season. So congratulations to him. Expecting to have another big year in 2020. And Cole Beasley, who set a career high in touchdowns for himself for the Buffalo Bills. So congratulations to him on that accomplishment. And again, expect to see another big year out of Cole Beasley. But do the Bills need one more weapon? Some Bills fans say, hey, we need a guy with speed. We need a guy that could be a deep threat, a guy that not even Josh Allen can overthrow. And, I've been on record as saying I think the Buffalo Bills need more of a tall weapon, right? We have John Brown sitting there at 5'10". We have Cole Beasley sitting there around 6 feet, maybe a little under. Our tallest wide receiver, of course, Duke Williams, sitting there at 6'2", a guy that we didn't use all that much last year. And Duke Williams has to be part of the conversation if you're talking about free agents for the Buffalo Bills wide receiving corps, because if Duke Williams is what the front office, what the coaching staff sees as a potential addition to the wide receiving room for the 2020 season, then that obviously changes some things. That adds a little bit of youth to the wide receiving room as well, but that changes some things as far as how much we're looking for those wide receivers. Obviously, when you're talking about this year, the corps of wide receivers in the free agent period, you're talking about two big names. The rest are middling names that, could have an impact on your team depending where they go. But the two big names are the ones that everyone's talking about right now. And for the Buffalo Bills, I think the biggest name people are talking about is A.J. Green. Now, we know Amari Cooper is a better wide receiver. I'm not saying he's not. But I feel like I hear a lot of buzz about A.J. Green since last season, and if the Buffalo Bills should pick him up in free agency or not. Now, remember, guys, in 2019, A.J. Green missed the entire season due to an ACL injury, so that was unfortunate. So we're going to look at the 2018 season where he played in 9 games. So injuries becoming to be an issue for A.J. Green, sitting there at 31 years old, was a first-round draft pick in 2011, played his college ball at the University of Georgia, so he was a Bulldog, 6'4", 210 pounds. So if you're looking at what I call the height issue for the Buffalo Bills, this would help with that, right? You're talking about a 6'4" wide receiver that could go up and maybe get a ball in the red zone. So let's look at 2018. He played 9 games, had 46 catches for 694 yards. And 6 touchdowns. So still able to get the ball in the end zone. Now, how much will that ACL injury affect his ability to go up and get some of these balls? That's yet to be seen, right? We need to see what he can do. And listen, the Bills have had scouts probably go and check up on him, watch him as he performs in drills and things like that to show they could still go up and get it. Sitting at 31 years old, you're thinking about A.J. Green higher up there in the age number, so you might be talking about a shorter-term contract too, right? Something that we know Brandon Beane likes. He likes those short-term deals. So do you need that type of leadership in the wide receiver room right now? I don't think so. I think with John Brown and Cole Beasley there, they're the veteran guys, right? And that's why it's tough for me to see us going back into free agency to pick up a wide receiver, just because we did it twice last year. We picked up 2 veteran guys who will be on this team for at least another season. So when it comes down to it, I just don't see that as a position need in free agency that some other teams might, or some other people might necessarily see it as. Now, is AJ Green a big name? Yes, but do we know how the injury is going to affect his durability in the future? No, we don't know that. There are so many unknowns when it comes to AJ Green. I'm not sure how excited I would be to sign him in free agency. I'm excited about the size, right? You're talking about a 6'4" guy, a guy that can be a star in this league, that has been a star. You're talking about a 7-time Pro Bowler. Has been a star in this league, just don't know what he has left in the tank. So we'll see what happens. But AJ Green, probably the biggest wide receiver name on most Bills fans' minds. Obviously, the biggest wide receiver coming into free agency is going to be Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper from originally played college ball at Alabama, has been in the league since 2015, was a first-round draft pick, 4th overall, just like AJ Green back in 2015. Talking about 6'1", 203 pounds. Does not excite me when it comes to the size. Again, guys, 6'1". Can he make a lot of big plays? Absolutely. Is he a true number 1 wide receiver? Probably. But the size, to me, is the big issue for the Buffalo Bills, and this doesn't address that. This might give you that guy that hopefully Josh Allen can't overthrow. But what happens when he does? You know, Robert Foster is a pretty quick guy himself, and yet Josh Allen found a way to overthrow him. So you're looking at Amari Cooper. You talk about the 2019 stats, 79 receptions, 1,189 yards and 8 touchdowns, but he also had 7 drops, and that has to be taken into consideration when you're looking at these free agents. Not only how high they can get things for you, like what's their highest of highs, but how low can they go, right? What is the potential of a disappointment, especially in a place like Buffalo, where you're not going to get close to 100 targets a season like he did in Dallas. So those are things that have to be considered when you talk about Amari Cooper. When you think about Amari Cooper, again, a name that should excite a lot of people, should excite a lot of teams, just not someone that excites me when you talk about what the Bills need at wide receiver compared to the skill set that Amari Cooper gives you. So I know what you guys are probably thinking now. You're saying, Joe, you don't like AJ Green in free agency, you don't like Amari Cooper in free agency. What wide receivers that are going to be unrestricted free agents do you like? And the answer to that question is, in 2020, not that many, if any at all. So obviously, again, my issue with the Buffalo Bills wide receiving room is there's no height, right? There's no size. There's no, someone go up and get it. Now, sure, we have Dawson Knox sitting there at 6'5" who can go up and get it, who's a good red zone threat. But if you only have one of those guys, defenses will know who to target, who to go after. So we need multiples. And so that's why if you gave me a choice right now and said you have Amari Cooper, AJ Green, you have to pick one, I'm going with AJ Green. I know he's older. I know the injury bug has plagued him a little bit. But if we put him in there with a John Brown, put him in there with a Cole Beasley, that would definitely be a 3-headed monster. Talking about a guy 6'4", can still go up and get it in the red zone, a good red zone target. I mean, if you look at his career touchdowns, it's unbelievable the times this guy has found the end zone. It's unreal to think that he's only found the end zone one time in the postseason. But the Bills could change that if he came to Buffalo. So that would be my pick. Let me know in the comment section who you would pick between Amari Cooper and AJ Green. You had to pick one. Who do you got? And let me know why. Let me know why you would pick them. Is it just simply because Amari Cooper's younger? Is it because of his big play capability? Or do you agree with me and say we need size? 6'4" is taller than 6'1". Let's go get the 6'4" guy. Again, let me know in the comment section. Plus, if you go AJ Green, according to Spot Track's market value, you're talking about $10 million less to get AJ Green than it would be to get Amari Cooper. So maybe that plays into your decision as well. But if you take a look at a lot of the wide receivers in free agency this season, a lot of them are shorter than 6 feet. So I'm asking myself, why do I want more guys that aren't even 6 feet tall? We have that with John Brown. We have that with Cole Beasley. Why do you want more of that? I mean, I'm looking at some of these guys in order. You look at Emmanuel Sanders. You're looking at Randall Cobb. Emmanuel Sanders is 5'11", also an older guy, 33 years old. Randall Cobb, 29, sitting there at 5'10". Why do we want those guys, right? We have a lot of those guys already. No offense to them. They're great players, and they will be an asset to whatever team they go to. But it's just not what Buffalo needs. So if you're saying, hey, we need big play capability, maybe we do. Maybe we still need a guy who could take a top off a defense. But I would rather him have some size to him too. We don't need a 5'10" guy running out there. We already have a bunch of Smurfs, as Coach put it, running out there. Let's try to get someone a little bit taller who Josh Allen will be able to see wherever he's at. The next guy on my list that I'm looking at as far as wide receiver free agents that could be a potential fit for Buffalo is a guy that the Jets just dropped. So he's a free agent already. We can go pick him up whenever we want, and that's Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson, wide receiver previously of the Jets, was an undrafted free agent out of Temple University in the 2016 NFL Draft, standing at 6'3", okay? So he's a little bit taller, and I know he's not as tall as A.J. Green. I know he's only 1 inch taller than our tallest receiver, but still gives you a little size. And if you pick up a guy like Robbie Anderson whose market is set at $12 million a year, you still have some money to go possibly get another one, or even still pick up a guy in the drafts in there. Again, you know, I like Colin Johnson out of Texas, 6'6". I love size. You can't teach that, as someone in the wrestling business once said. But you look at Robbie Anderson, again, 6'3", 190 pounds. In 2019, played 91% of the Jets, New York, New Jersey Jets snaps, had 52 receptions, 779 yards, 5 touchdowns, knows how to get into the end zone. We know he's been a matchup problem for us in the past, right? In previous years. Robbie Anderson 2 years ago beat the Bills a lot. So if you look at a guy like Robbie Anderson, he does add that size factor. Now, it does cost a little bit more than A.J. Green would, so you have to ask yourselves, would you rather pay less for a guy who's a little bit taller and more of a veteran leader, or do you want to pay a little bit more, get a younger guy, and a guy that can still potentially get the job done? So that's a guy that I'm looking at. Another guy is Rashad Perriman from Tampa Bay, sitting there at 6'2", so he would match Duke Williams' height. So if you ask me who I'd rather have, Duke Williams or Rashad Perriman, I'm going with Rashad Perriman just because he's more proven in the NFL. And maybe some of you guys like that unknown factor of Duke Williams, right? I know a lot of you like Duke Williams. I know a lot of you have hated on me for all I've had to say about Duke Williams, but I like Duke Williams. To me, he has to prove more. Now, he does have a whole offseason. And again, what happens with Duke Williams, how this front office and how this coaching staff feels about Duke Williams is going to be evident in what we do in free agency, in what we do in the NFL draft. Is wide receiver a huge concern? Because if we don't have Duke Williams, if we don't trust Duke Williams, the wide receiver becomes a little bit bigger of a concern than if we say, no, we have Duke Williams, we'll be all right. Let's get one maybe in the draft. Let's get a young guy, maybe pick up one late free agent, not worth a lot of money. Either way, but it's going to tell a lot what the Buffalo Bills do at the wide receiver position this offseason as to how they feel about Duke Williams. So you have Rashad Perriman, who I like, 2019. He had 36 receptions, 645 yards, 6 touchdowns. Demarcus Robinson played for the Kansas City Chiefs, a 4th-round draft pick out of Florida, 6'1", 203 pounds, 32 receptions last year, 449 yards, and 4 touchdowns there. A guy that I've always liked but flies under the radar, and to me, he's probably past his prime now that he's not playing with Peyton Manning anymore, not having someone like that throwing them the ball, but maybe worth taking a chance on. Demaryius Thomas. Demaryius Thomas is a 6'3" wide receiver, would not demand a lot of money. He's more on the downhill slide of his career, right? So obviously he's on the downward side of his career. So maybe pick up a Demaryius Thomas in free agency and then draft a wide receiver. So you have a younger wide receiver room and you have a veteran like Demaryius Thomas who can still get the job done, doesn't have that much of a history with injury, and can be a leader in the locker room for the younger wide receivers. I like it here, 32 years old, was a 1st-round pick out of Georgia Tech, 6'3", 225 pounds. In 11 games last season with the New York, New Jersey Jets, 36 receptions, 433 yards, and a touchdown. Those are some of the guys I'm looking at. You talk about Demarcus Robinson, Rashad Perriman, maybe Robbie Anderson, and if you want to pay some money, A.J. Green. Don't like Amari Cooper. Again, let me know in the comment section if you agree or disagree. I know he's a big play talent. You do have to wonder if he's ready for the drop in targets, because no one in Buffalo is going to get about 100 targets a game. That's just not, or 100 targets a season. That's just not going to happen. So if you're not giving him 100 targets a game, is he worth $20 million a year? You have to ask yourself these questions. If we're a run-first team, which the Bills are is he worth $20 million a year? But then you go down this list, you have Philip Dorsett, 5'10", like I said, some guys that don't quite fill out what I feel the Buffalo Bills need. So let me know if you would rather speed or size at wide receiver, and let me know out of the free agent wide receivers which ones you like. Those are the guys that I like. I gave you some of the stats. I thank you for joining me on this edition of Believers Talk. We will continue to break down certain positions before free agency starts, positions of need for the Buffalo Bills. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video, and like I said, leave a comment. Who do you like? I'll talk to you all soon. Until I do, go Bills.